Trust your gut. You know yourself, so don't let somebody else tell you who you are. My mom taught me German before I knew English. And I went to French immersion school. I love people, watching people interact. It's a lot of psychology. We learn about ourselves by watching other people's lives on the screen. I like challenging parts, something I haven't done yet, something that scares me. There's just a feeling I get when I read a script that I love. I feel an attachment to it, a yearning to play that character. I think Amy Poehler and Tina Fey have done so much for women in comedy in the sense that they've normalized it. You don't think, I'm going to watch that comedy starring a woman, you think, I'm going to watch that funny show. They refuse to play the foils for men, or be reduced to the butt of every joke, and I love that about both of them. Auditions are not a natural environment, and you feel judged, even though everyone is just excited to find the right person. I grew up in Canada, man, we all had rinks in our backyards because we'd ice down the grass with a hose and build a skating rink. I did improv for about 10 years professionally, and before that, I had done it in high school as part of an improv team. It was definitely a big part of my upbringing. I think there's something really freeing about improv, that it's a collective, creative, in-the-moment piece. That's really exciting and really frustrating, because it's there and gone. There's an amazing interaction with the audience that happens because they are very much another scene partner. I started out as a dancer as a kid. I've been dancing since I was 4. So performing was always part of what I was. I love hip-hop, I love sleigh bells. I also love classical music and musical theater. It's the reason we go to films and watch television, to escape the mundane nature of life and see another world and see ourselves in that other world. I think that's what sci-fi does so well. I think there's something really freeing about improv, that it's a collective, creative, in-the-moment piece. That's really exciting and really frustrating, because it's there and gone. I like Futurama. That's kind of the only thing that's my sci-fi thing, although I was big into zombies for a time. I started out as a dancer as a kid. I've been dancing since I was 4. So, performing was always part of what I was. I don't know if I enjoyed the response I got from people or if I liked having an audience, but there's something in me that wanted to perform. I transitioned into theater and acting when I was about 9, community theater and musicals, being, like, chorus kid number 78 or whatever. But I just loved it. As a kid you just crave attention, and early on I just felt it was so cool and fun to play around and have people clap for me. But eventually I grew up and fell deeper into it. Comedy scares me a lot. I feel like it's way harder than drama. I think my safety net is definitely drama, and I would love to kind of be able to push into the comedy world and do something kind of like a Christopher Guest kind of style show. That, to me, is my kind of comedy. Like, Ricky Gervais comedy. That's my kind of thing. There's so many different people that I'm fascinated by. Different kinds of characters that I meet in, like, everyday life, that I'm like, I don't know how you exist. Like, you're so fascinating. I'm attracted to stories that excite my imagination, stories that, as I'm reading the script, I feel it, I can see it, I can hear the characters. I'm attracted to characters that are real, that tap into something inside me that I haven't explored yet. You're working with adults and you're being paid to do a job. And you're a kid. Then you go back to high school, and everybody's partying, and they're doing math. I always felt a little bit outside of it. Outside of both experiences, really. You're hot for 2 seconds, and you're struggling to get work again. If it were easy, I don't think that's a good place for an artist to work from. Sometimes I'll go into a shop and speak in a different accent to see if I can pull it off. But then somebody will be like, "Where did you say you were from again?" And then I panic, and my accent dissolves, and I pretend like I wasn't doing it in the first place. I was a dancer from about the age of 4, so I was always performing and forcing my parents to watch my brother and I do Jesus Christ Superstar in the living room. My first step was community theater, and then I started to do films. Robert De Niro has always been fascinating to me. And if John Cazale were still alive, that would be a man I'd love to work with. I'm a big fan of Paul Thomas Anderson's films. I would be honored to work with him. I think he's a brilliant director, and he gets such compelling stories out of his actors and out of his crew. I was on the improv team in high school, and after I graduated, I joined an improv company that had been established 10 years prior to me getting there. They did long-form improv, and I fell in love with it. It's acting, character creation, collaborative, artistic expression and comedy, and it's scary. It was a big rush. My brothers and I always did improv stuff in our basement with our friends. We're super nerds, and that was our way of spending a Friday night. Clothing and makeup and hair and all of that so much indicates the kind of person you are inside and the person you are presenting on the outside. Sometimes they are in conflict, and sometimes they are the same. That psychology of the exterior informing the interior is just so interesting. My mom's a translator, my dad's a woodworker. That's the world I grew up in, that's the world I'm most comfortable in. The whole idea of Hollywood or any of that other stuff that unfortunately goes along with film, that wasn't part of my upbringing, thankfully. Something like Rust and Bone would be a dream. Very pared down. Orphan Black is such a challenge. I just need something that isn't as full-on intense as that. Orphan Black allows for people to have debates and theories and allegiances to different characters, to trust characters and hate other characters, but it doesn't tell you who is good or bad or right or wrong. That's the most exciting storytelling, in my book. Sex isn't hard, but intimacy is terrifying. I find comedy to be really scary, because it can go so wrong so easily, and the margin for error is so huge, and I guess that's what makes it funny, that tension. I try to get roles that challenge me in what I can do and who I think I can portray. For me, it's about creating characters with really fascinating stories, because that's what I like to watch on TV. I think being idle is quite hard for me to do. I'm a huge Futurama fan, so that's my closest sci-fi tendency. I'm incredibly close to my family. I have 2 younger brothers, they're both artists and actors, and their work and the way they see the world inspires me.